5 tips for non-Muslims during Ramadan in the UAE. So the holy month of Ramadan is expected to begin this week. And with that, the city will change. So whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, you will observe the changes throughout the city. And the official confirmation for the beginning of the holy month will come with the moon sighting committee, which we already discussed. So this is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. It's a month for fasting, prayer, reflection and community, and both Muslims and non-Muslims, as I said, will observe how the city changes throughout the holy month.
So working hours are reduced, restaurants opening timings are adjusted in some cases, and parking hours changed. Malls stay open until later into the night, and the availability of taxis might be less during the sunset as drivers are breaking the fast. Additionally, drivers need to take more caution on the road just generally, just because the performance of anyone who is fasting may be impaired due to sleepiness.
And also, there's discounts in a lot of the supermarkets, which we shared as well. So it's the city changes for the month. And for anyone who's not fasting, for anyone who's new to the city, what's cool is the government has outlined some tips and some etiquette to be aware of, which you may not be aware of if you're new to the city. So you do not have to fast in Ramadan for non-Muslims. However, you are prohibited from eating, drinking and smoking in public during fasting hours. You're also prohibited from chewing gum in public during fasting hours. Additionally, there's some other points to be aware of. You should not engage in any aggressive behavior. You should not dance or play music in public, although you may listen to music quietly on your headphones.
And also, you shouldn't wear any inappropriate clothes in public, and swearing as blasphemy is considered extra offensive during Ramadan and in general. And refusing a gift or an invitation to join someone's iftar
is also, you shouldn't do it, which I was interested, very interesting point.
It's just like a hospitality Arab thing, you know, like you want to invite as many people just for the sake of sharing that experience with them. But what this makes me think of is, you really, for the people that are fasting, things change in a way to where you don't really acknowledge that things have changed. They're just better adjusted for the month. And for the people that aren't fasting, it just makes you more cautious and more aware of just general awareness, you know, and treatment of like the people around you. So it doesn't really change anything for anyone, but it's just better adjusted for both the people that are fasting and aren't fasting.
True, and I just think that these tips are quite helpful for example, we have a massive influx of tourists in the last couple of years. Things have changed a lot since the pandemic. More people are living in the city, so I just think it's really helpful to be aware of these points, because I do remember in the last number of years, there'd be maybe little signs at the airports as people are coming in.
Yeah.
Some people, especially in the last few years, Ramadan has always fallen during the hot summer months. Less tourists. Now it's coming at a time when the weather is beautiful. A lot of people will be coming to the country. They may not be aware. I mean, when I was growing up, I had no clue what Ramadan was at all. So if I had happened to come during the holy month, I would have been totally oblivious to what that might mean. So to have these tips is just a nice little reminder. Be aware of the type of clothing that you're wearing. Be respectful, be modest. No swearing in public, which you should not be doing anyway.
Yeah, don't. Like, just don't.
It's just very helpful to just a reminder of these tips. Of course, no eating and drinking in public. Maybe your workspace will set up a specific area where you can eat, because of course you can eat. I remember, you know, the malls will have like specific areas where it is okay to go and eat, but just make sure that you're mindful of that and find those areas.
Yeah, it's great that like even restaurants, some cover if it's an open restaurant, like things are covered so that people that are fasting and passing by aren't necessarily seeing anything. I was watching Real Housewives yesterday, season 6, Beverly Hills.
I was going to say which city.
And they were coming to Dubai. This isn't a segue, like I'm not drifting from the topic. So basically, they were coming to Dubai, but they didn't necessarily understand like how the city works, and obviously it's different from the culture that they grew up in. One thing that all of them did was ask the people around them, like, how can I respect Dubai the most? And I feel like for tourists, like, just that general sense of awareness, like opening that conversation, starting that conversation and asking is a good step forward.
I love that.
Yeah, so like they came into the city with, they might have had preconceived notions about what they can and can't do, but they got clarification. So it's just like taking that one step to know how to better approach Ramadan.
Well, I love that, but it doesn't necessarily even need to be Dubai, right? So like we are so lucky where we're located that we get to travel a lot. We find ourselves in a lot of different countries with cultures that we didn't know about growing up, which is okay. But therefore, you should ask the question. So how can I really respect the country that I'm going to?
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's a country that you know all about, for example, if we're going to the States, like how can I respect the States? Or if you're coming to the Middle East, which you know nothing about, or the Far East, it's a great question to ask. So Real Housewives strikes again.
Good old